All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible weekend. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I am fantastic. I had an absolutely magnificent weekend. Spent it at a friend's cottage, celebrating my wife's birthday. So, you know what?
Nice.
It was picturesque. Actually, it was lovely. How was your weekend?
Good, man. It was great, man. It was a great weekend. Tired from yesterday. We went probably a little bit too late yesterday. And again, the kids had an amazing time. We had a great time. So it was awesome, man. Great weekend. So it's funny. We had the July 4th day off in the middle of the week last week, but this weekend felt like the actual party. Like we really went in. So yeah, it was fun, man. Really enjoyed ourselves. Hopefully you
Excellent.
guys out there over on our members chat and YouTube also enjoy yourselves as well. Hopefully you had a great weekend as we're getting back to another week of trading. And man, we hope we have better trading than we did last week, right? So we got a true taste of a lot of summerish type of activities last week with the stock market. So hopefully it's more volatility today. Peter, I'm not sure what was your experience last week. I mean, I know for me, it seems like everything I was watching was not moving well. How about on your end? How was it for you last week of trading?
Yeah, it was a little light. I didn't find many trading opportunities. There were, in fact, of our 3.5 days that we traded, 1.5 of them, or two, if you want to round up, I didn't get any trades. So I had to be
Yeah,
patient.
yeah,
I had to make sure that I was very careful so that I didn't get myself into trouble. But yeah, it was slow overall for me.
yeah, same here. All right, friends, let's jump right to it. Our gappers list today does not look anything but busy, so not too slow this morning. We got a ton of stuff in the gap up list today, as you can see here, and we'll dive through some of this. This list is pretty long, actually. Zap, our Z-type motorcycle moped, electric moped, back on the list again. Is that correct? Up 70% now? That is
Zap.
this is massive there. So we'll look at what's happening there. We have Intel, Paramount, a bunch of other stuff on here, and then down to 12% is the only one this morning in the red is cost here. So cost down 12%. They were active last week as well. We'll see what's driving them today to be down 12%. Right. Before we do that, guys, let's get over to our economic calendar, see what's happening for today, and then we'll take it from there.
Economic calendar is extremely light. With the only thing we have is a consumer credit number coming out at 3 o'clock today. So nothing this morning. Sort of a rare day when you get absolutely nothing coming out in the morning, but that's what we got. Like we were saying last week, later this week we are going to have some more interesting economic data. Thursday we've got the CPI numbers coming out, and then Friday the PPI. So producer price index on Friday, consumer price index on Thursday. Those are the most interesting. On Wednesday, we do have Fed Powell testifying to the House. So there might be some movement, but might not. You never know. Those testimonies can be hit or miss. It depends on the questions and how frustrated everybody gets in that. So, but that's later this week. For now, not much. Tomorrow, not much more, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So I think, Carlos, today we're going to have to rely on anything that's moving on our gappers list, and of course, our ongoing scanners once the market opens to see what is going to be exciting.
Yeah, yep, agree. I see that our guy here, Brent, does have an economic calendar. So
Yep.
earnings start up later this week. End of the week, we start with the
Later this
banking
week.
sector, so that's gonna be fun. That should spark some things up, man. If things continue to be slow this week, earnings is definitely going to get things going. So looking forward to that as well. Got some major banks starting it off, kicking it off Thursday and Friday. All right, let's look at this list here, guys. We'll start with Control A, Control X, Control A, Control X. Going to clean that up. We'll start with the first one here, MORF, and Morph is morphing into, it looks like a buyout here, up 75% at the price of 55.85. So maybe 56 is the buyout, maybe higher because I see some higher action here. But looks like a buyout, Peter. Is that what it is here? Just not a whole lot of movement this
Well,
morning.
Well done. Yes, exactly. Eli Lilly so is
Oh,
buying Morphic Holding at a surprising $3.2 billion valuation. So I have no idea what Morphic Holding does. The buyout price is actually $57. Your 56 was a good guess, but it's $57 is what they're willing to pay on this one. And like you said, because it's the buyout, it's not really going to be tradable.
yeah, that's not going to trade well. Not something we'll look at today, so we'll skip right on to the next one. It's going to be SAP. We saw this last week. This is the electric moped or something here. And today they are, oh, if I can type that correctly, here we go. ZAP. They're up 65%. They were up last week. If you guys remember on Friday, they did get a gap up. Didn't run as much, but today they're up again. And pre-market action, 11 million shares traded. It is hard to borrow, so we cannot short this thing at the moment with interactive brokers. But I gotta say, man, their pre-market activity does look decent. They are a lower flow stock. I'm showing 1.4 million shares flow at the moment, so not a big flow on it. But how did it trade on Friday? Let's go back here and
Yeah, it's a
see.
tiny float. So
Yeah, it's not great. Look, if you look at this, all the good action happened in the pre-market, right? The market open, it looks horrible. So I do have to say today's pre-market action looks way better than the one on Friday. I'm gonna put in a secondary because I'm curious to see how it trades this morning. But again, very, very tiny float. Be careful on that one. Um, you know what, Peter? Although it's a tiny flow, at least it's a company, right? Because sometimes you see this tiny flow and you're like, okay, well, you have no idea what they're making. They're like making educational videos for China. I don't know about all of that, right? At least there's something, there's some kind of product that seems to
yeah,
be have some kind of value. Not vouching for it, but at least there's something we could look at on this
yeah,
thing.
it's
So
that there's something. I mean, I don't know what their business has to do with their stock price movement. To be honest, yeah, I think
yeah,
this is going into the meme category because Zap is, like you said, moving on a lot of volume. I mean, they only have a million and a half shares in the float, which means already this morning they've turned over what, like almost six times their float. So or over six times.
yeah,
It's I don't know. This is the scary stocks. This is
it
great
is
if you're a
scary. Yeah,
meme stock trader or you like the low floats. You might love this one. So by all means, right? Take a look at it.
yeah,
But this is the type of stuff I typically avoid just because they frighten me because they're unpredictability. I mean, it's still only a $6 stock. Closed at 4 yesterday, which means a buck move is huge on this as a percentage
yeah,
basis and can hurt you greatly if it just pops or drops $1 and you're on the wrong side of it. So be careful if you want to play it. I can't tell you why it's moving. It seems to be mentioned in the same breath as all the meme stocks, AMC, GME, and of course the most recent costs, which we see on the gap down because people thought it was going to meme and it hasn't really. So yeah, just whatever you do, be careful.
yeah. Agree. Got it here in our risky power guys, secondary stuff. So let's see what's on our list. GRFS. What is this? We are up 22% here. Okay, pre-market activity, not really. It does have 1.4 million shares traded. Lower price stock, and it looks very gappy. This daily doesn't look clean at all. Oh, this is brutal. This is garbage stuff right here. Uh, Peter, I'm not sure why this thing is gapping up today, but just look at the day. It looks very garbage-like at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's a Monday, which means we're going to see some of this weekend activity come in. This one's it's caught between two worlds. So it's a biotech. I thought it was going to be news on a drug, but it's not. They actually have a tentative offer for acquisition. So they've basically got this offer to be bought. It's unconfirmed at this point, so which probably means we're going to see a little more stock movement than you would if it was a confirmed buyout price. But it's a Spanish company, which means it may be dual listed. I don't know anything about this thing, so I'm not sure what to expect out of it. But the price action it doesn't look terrible, to be honest, but it's also in the nervous category for me, right? $7-8 stock, uncertain buyout price, and they could be affected by news at any point today. So, once again, goes into the be terribly careful if you want to trade it. but I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, yeah. Leave it alone here. I don't like it as well. Next one on the list is going to be RCM this morning. So RCM right now we are up 14%. Horrible pre-market activity. Daily doesn't look great. I mean, this is another one's going to join our garbage list. I don't like it at all, one bit. Again, they're gapping up 15%, but I'm not interested in this stuff here. So another one for the garbage truck to pick up from us there. Peter, anything to share on this thing?
This is the news was Thursday of last week, so it should have affected its price and action on Friday. Although I don't remember looking at it, which was it had a private equity buyout offer from a company called New Mountain Capital at about a $6 billion deal, which would value the shares at about $13.25 each. So again, buyouts are not great for us. So moving on.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. It's going to be NNE. NNE has been made our list in the last 2 weeks a couple of times on here. Today they're gapping up 6.5, 247,000 shares traded. And I got to say, the few times that it's made our list, it's never actually stayed on my watch list at all, or made my watch list. And a good reason why, if you look at the intraday action, just doesn't look that clean. Very, very light volume. So this is 58,000 shares being traded on a 5 minute. That's not going to trade very well. And if you look at the last trading session, same thing, very choppy. So be careful if you are trading this one. For me, it doesn't really meet the criteria. So I'm looking for a ticker. Daily does look great though. We've been getting increase in volume over the last couple of days. We're going from like nothing to something. So that's obviously going to look good on print here. But Peter, anything worth watching on this one?
No news really. It's also sort of meme-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect out of this. Like you said, when the few times I've tried to look at it, it has not been moving well during the market hours. So I don't think it's worth my time.
Yeah, I'm with you. Move on to the next one here. It's going to be, man, these are some random tickers. The ID, you could just tell like this list is made up of a lot of garbage stock this morning. So a lot of garbage tickers woke up today and say, hey, we're going to be in the running for this possible watch list today. So here's ID. Sounds like her politicians, but yeah, never mind that. IDYA this morning. We have 13.8 right now, 202,000 shares traded. And it just looks so bad, man. I mean, I'm moving on. Not going to spend no time on this.
ID
Yeah,
Idea Biosciences. It is Monday, which means we're going to see a few biotechs on here. So this is one with drug results on a phase 2 trial, but like you said, doesn't look great. I do like their logo; it's cool, but other than that, not doesn't mean it's fun to trade.
yeah. No. Let's move on. And the next one on here is SMR. And if this is garbage, I'm gonna was it's not garbage, but I'm not a big fan of trading it myself, but it's not garbage because I've seen some of you guys trade this stock, right? It's been on a tear over the last month or actually last 3 months looks like. And I'm not a big fan of it. But if you do like this one, if you've been watching it, you like the way it trades, it could be a good candidate for you today. It is up 6.4. Pre-market activity tends to always look horrible on this one every time I look at it. Market open, you might get something out of it. Looks like Friday, we did actually get some movement on this, right? On light volume. But if you do like the way this thing trades, you've seen it enough times already that you can add it on your list if you like the way it moves. So I'm going to skip it. Peter, have you? I know we watched this quite a bit. New scale. Have you been watching this one on your list? Put it on your list. Traded it? I don't think so, but
I, I've
checking.
I've put it on my list occasionally. Never actually traded it. Didn't give me anything I liked. So today, no news. Not sure why it's moving. It's an AI stock. So sometimes within that AI space, things just play around without necessarily understanding the reasons. It seems like SMR is in that category this morning.
Yeah. All right. It looks like we might have some better looking stuff down here. So I'm going to skip around a little bit. I do have Intel. So we'll look at Intel. We'll look at TSM. We'll look at PLTR. These are tickers that we know can trade very well. Intel this morning, gapping up 3%. They really, if you guys remember, they had a really bad run between March, especially in May. I mean, it's just highway to hell here, all the way down. We found some support in May. We've been holding that for a while here and it's just kind of stuck within a range. A couple of times we were able to pop out of that but really just been stuck in there. So today they're up to 3%, almost 2 million shares traded. Peter, any good news for Intel? Maybe change directions of what they've been stuck at?
Um, I'd love to see some more news out of the whole sector, frankly, because they've been resting on their laurels for a little while. There was I guess an analyst review. It wasn't an analyst upgrade, just an analyst article that came out that talked about them as an underappreciated gem, which I guess could get a little bit of traction, but that doesn't typically carry very long once the volume comes into the market at the opening bell. So it's pretty weak news for Intel. So really, I'm saying I don't think it's going to be enough to move it, and not putting it on my list.
Yep. Same here. I don't like it. We'll move on to another one here. It's going to be, although today, looking at my watch list, guys, and how uninviting it is at the moment, there might be space for Intel today. I mean, there's nothing else on here, so I actually might put in a
Oh,
secondary.
really?
I don't have anything else on my list. It's blank. Besides Zap all the way down here because it's active. There's nothing on here, so maybe Intel could be the sleeper or the only thing that people are watching today that can get some volume.
Maybe.
I don't know. Take a look at TSM. TSM, it is up 3.1 here. TSM just been on a slow tear. If you look at this daily, it's just constantly making new highs. Today is one of those days. So all-time highs here for TSM. Is that all-time highs? I believe it is. Yes. Look at that weekly. It's just been insane the last 2 months, especially. So, TSM is a good trader for some people. I don't think I ever traded this. Usually, when this is doing well, I'm looking at AMD and Nvidia, which we can actually look at now and see what they're up to. I see Nvidia's got some movement here. As you mentioned, Peter, over the last couple of days, semis have been just flat, and you can see that with Nvidia stuck in a range here. Although, again, this range is like $5. Don't get me wrong. If you can catch a good day on the range, like this one here, and maybe this one, it could be a decent outcome for you because $5 range on a $120 stock, that's pretty good. So I'll add Nvidia on here. We do got some great volume, 4.5 million shares traded right now. So I got Nvidia on deck. TSM is going to go on my secondary, hitting all-time highs. So I actually do like TSM a lot. Peter, any news specifically on TSM this morning?
Yeah, yeah. They sort of announced that they are in a hiring boom. So demand is so big that they can't keep up. They've warned of a tight chip supply for the next 18 months or so. A TSM, so this is Taiwan Semiconductor, and one of their subsidiaries, Japan Advanced Semiconductor Manufacturing, JASM, has announced that they're doubling their hiring for spring 2025. So they plan. You got to plan far ahead in chip fab world, right? Because it just takes so long to establish your factories and your systems, right? It's very complex. So they are looking to hire significantly, more employees and aren't finding the skilled labor they need. So, it's, I guess generally that's good news that they are looking to hire. Not good news that they can't find the skilled labor that they're looking for. But the demand, of course, is what the market is excited about because that means that the future continues to look bright for those that are especially back-end chip manufacturers. So, yep, that's the news. Again, we have to remember on this lovely ticker, TSM, the news can be really exciting. It doesn't mean it's going to move all that well during market hours. Like you said, Carlos, it's been going up pretty steadily for the last, all of this year, frankly. Ever since December of last year, it's just been climbing fairly steadily. A little bit of a sideways price action between February and April, but doesn't mean on any given day you're going to be able to get great trades out of it. And that's what we're looking for here in the morning, right? What can we trade between 8:30 and 4 during the day? And I don't have particular expectations that this one's going to go well. I will go back, as I always do, to my regulars because I know that AMD and Nvidia will at least give me good volume and price action during the day, such that you can get some decent trades out of it better than Intel or TSM or some of the others. So might be worth watching. Now, Carlos, now that we got two on the list, you're right. It might be worth putting Intel or TSM just on a watch list to see what they're doing. But I'd probably go back and trade Nvidia and AMD.
Yep. I agree with that 100%, man. That's why I do like those. But yeah, looking at it here, guys. So right now, Nvidia, TSM, Intel on the list for the moment. And if I look at this gappers list ad right now, we have POTR, IRN, and some other ones on deck as well. But all right, we'll look at the POTR, see what's happening here. But yeah, I don't like any of these, man. We'll do this. Go to you, Peter. Peter, we'll start with you. Before I bounce around, we spend a lot of time going through this list. I don't find anything that looks great. What do you like on your end this morning?
Well, you mentioned PLTR. I think it's worth looking at. They don't have any particular news. There's always this random excitement that people have on AI on any given day. Being that we had a shortened week last week, some of those themes come back into the conversation, especially when we have a very low news cycle, right? There's not much going on. And PLTR on a daily, it's not anywhere near its all-time high, but it is at sort of a 1-year high, or maybe even a 2-year high. So it's sort of peaked up above a high that it had a couple of weeks ago, or about couple of months ago, I should say, back in February. And it's just over $28 this morning. So PLTR might be worth watching. The pre-market action doesn't look good. I'll have to admit, it's pretty low and pretty flat, but it's got some volume this morning at 2.3 million shares and sitting above those recent highs. This might be a candidate because it can move when it gets enough momentum. Will today be that day? That's always the question we're asking ourselves. So far it's looking a little iffy, but at least I know there's some history there, right? I know that it can trade well if it gets going. So that's one. The other one that I think was on our gappers list, or at least it was a little bit earlier this morning, was we see back is Paramount, Para. Just because it's something different. It's at least some news here. Remember, there's been off and on talks for freaking ever, forever about their buyout. Right? Are they going to be buyout? Or are they not going to be bought out? Is someone going to acquire them? Well, apparently there was a special committee of Paramount's board that unanimously agreed to approve a merger with Skydance Media. That wasn't the leader. At least we didn't think that was the leader going into the weekend. But coming out of the weekend, late last night, this announcement came out that they have approved a potential merger. Now, I haven't seen details of this and what it actually means price-wise for the stock. But this merger is perhaps meaning that the rumors can be put to bed and we can now deal with facts. There's a 45-day period that they've put in here, which is a no shop period, which means that they're not going to actively seek or work with any other company while they see if they can work out the details with Skydance. Feels like we sort of been here before. I don't remember a special committee approving this, but I thought we were on the track with the merger with Skydance, in fact, and then it fell apart. So this could very well still fall apart because it's happened before. But that's the news, and Paramount might get a little boost as people are speculating what's going to happen with it. What will be the confirmed price? What will the new merged company look like? Right now, we're sitting at good volume at 1.2 million shares. Not huge movement, only up 19 cents or about 1.6%. So I'm going to keep an eye on it just in case it does something fun. So those are the two that are on my list off of the gappers that I was keeping an eye on, or the gap up list anyways, Carlos. And really not much else. I mean, not from a gap up perspective. Oh, are you out there, Carlos?
Yep. Nope. You got me now.
Oh, there is.
Power here for a little bit on and off. Something went wrong with the connection, but we're back.
Speaking of that, did you get a cable? Do you have a cable?
I did not.
A camera cable. Oh no,
I did not, but I've been
Carlos.
charging the camera. The camera will give me 4 hours. I just got to do my part to make sure I charge it, and I did my part last night. Make sure I charge the battery. So we're good for 4 hours here, man. No worries.
All right. You said you were going to buy it after the show last week.
I know. And I started trading, having fun with you guys in chat, and just completely forgot about it. So, but yeah, we'll get that done. All right, friends. Let's do this. Let's head over to our community events and announcements. And I want to reset my thing here because it's acting up. So as we do this, I'm gonna reset my DAS Trader Pro because it's not letting me change it, and we'll come back and
Wait.
see. Hopefully that's working. We'll look at some tickers. We'll look at the gap down. We'll do some stuff on here. Go ahead, Peter.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
was going
yeah,
to
we'll
ask
come
about
back.
the gap down. We haven't done it, but we're
No, we'll
coming
come
back
back
to it.
to it.
Okay,
It's not
I got
changing
it.
for some reason. I'm gonna reset it real quick. Okay. All right. Excellent,
You need a
guys.
moment. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, let's do that. I can tell you guys what's happening in the community this week. Why not? Let's go. We're back to normal for the first time in what feels like a long time. So, first time in a couple of weeks, anyways. We've got our normal schedule back. We should have everything going and ticking as you normally expect. Which means we start today with our onboarding class. Happens at 8 o'clock. Happens every Monday for all of our new members or anybody that wants to orient themselves with all that you can get out of a Bearable Trader membership. We'll go over sort of all the services we have, all the capability, answer some basic trading questions, help you get set up if you're a first timer, if you're still trying to figure it out, and if you've already figured that out, but you still have some questions about how you should approach the markets, your strategy, or your trading scenario or setup, then Carlos will help you with that. So once again, 8 o'clock tonight in the onboarding room. Hopefully we'll see you there. That's open to everybody that's got a membership. Now, the rest of the webinars are only available to those that have elite memberships. So Tuesday, we focus on strategy and trade book. And this Tuesday, Thor the man. Thor is going to be leading this session with the Camarilla Pivot Point session, where he's going to walk you through sort of how he uses them, what he thinks the value is, and how you can add them to your own trading strategies. That'll be on Tuesday, July the 9th, 8 o'clock, so usual time in our webinar room. Next week, Pierre is going to be with us. Pierre, by the way, who's trading live this morning. He's going to be trading live with Lenny, so we'll have Pierre and Lenny. Oh, we got lots of stuff coming in here. They are going to be, anyways, Pierre is going to be leading the webinar next week, Tuesday, July the 16th, 8 o'clock, on how to master day trading and the ultimate guide to success in the markets. That's a big, ambitious title. Let's all join and see if he lives up to it. All right. Wednesday is our psychology series. And this Wednesday, we've got Mike, our very own Mike Bayer, with us, who's going to talk about how you create a supportive trading environment. That's on Wednesday the 10th. So usual time, 8 o'clock. So that's 2 days from today, this Wednesday. Put that in your calendar. And then he's doing back-to-back sessions, or at least back-to-back weeks, where he's going to do the next part of his series, where he's going to help you unlock key elements to your trading strategy with while you master your psychology. So those are both at 8 o'clock this and next Wednesdays. Thursday, we are back on track, baby, with our mentorship sessions. We love having these mentorship sessions back. And we've got 4 of them that happen every Thursday, starting with John at 11 a.m., who does his mentorship session. Then we go to Jared and Megan at 2 p.m. Lenny then takes over the airwaves at 4 p.m. And then at 8 o'clock in the evening, Thor closes out the mentorship day, as he always does. This is Mentorship series. Everybody loves it. It's always a great session, a great place to get your questions answered. So hopefully you put all 4 of those in your calendar, right? 11, 4, and 8 for equities. And then if you want to talk options, our 2 p.m. session with Jared and Megan is for equities mentorship. All right. So that's what's on Thursday. Fridays, never have any sessions. We like to ease ourselves into the weekend and give you guys a day off, because there's a lot of content we bring to you every week, and everybody needs a little bit of time to sort of take everything, absorb it, be able to apply it to your trading. So that's what Fridays are for. All right. So those are our sessions for this coming week. Hopefully you put those in your calendar. The other thing that we hope you keep in mind too is our tradingterminal.com website, where we are always upgrading it. We've got a bunch of exciting changes coming to it and additions. They're top secret, so I can't talk to you about them. Unlike Andrew, I can keep a secret. So I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to give you the teaser. But if you go there right now, it's still got a bunch of fantastic information on there. It's got the market news. It's got the calendar of events. It's got obviously your equities, charting. It's got heat maps. It's got your scanners and your trading simulator. I'm going to use it all day today with the scanners, of course, because we got to see what's moving, high of day breaks, active movers, turbo break up, turbo breakdown. All those scanners are available for you in there. Check it out. It's a fantastic set of tools that you can get through tradingterminal.com. So hopefully you'll check that out. And if you want to join us at Bearable Traders, so if you want to join the chat room community, right, that runs all day, we give you sort of a little peek into it as we do the live trading through the open. You see a little bit of what the chat room's like, but you can't really experience it unless you actually go there. Then we invite you to join us using the intro offer. If you just want to kick the tires and see if it's a community for you, that will give you access to that onboarding class that happens tonight. So it's not too late. Join now. You can get that onboarding class this evening. If you're ready to join more thoroughly or for a longer period of time, then the basic or elite monthly packages are available to you. The elite annual is always the best deal, and we still have our July 4th sale going on. Fantastic price here at $9.99 to give you 1 full year access to the chat room and all of the service Bearable Traders offers. So hopefully you consider that if you're looking for a chat room to be part of. All right, all that being said, hopefully Carlos has got his stuff fixed and the technology is cooperating. Sometimes it cooperates. Yeah. Sometimes, it decides to be a little difficult.
It does. I think we're good. So I'm going to bring this over here and just need one more second and we're good to go. All right, friends. Excellent. That is what we have right now. Let's go back to some of the stuff that we did skip on here as we're fixing our layout here. We're going to go back to, what was it? That gap down. We had KOSS on the list.
Yep.
Let's look at that.
KOSS was in the news last week, right? People were all thinking that it was being mentioned by Roaring Kitty just because there was a picture of a microphone on a message that was sent out over social media. There has been, that I'm aware of, sort of no confirmation of that. And KOSS is, as a stock, everybody's like, I guess we're wrong. So let's get out. There was 2 days of speculation, as you can see, with the stock price moving up, and now it looks like the fun is over on this. You know what? Look how easily it popped. Look how flat it was moving, right? Within a 40 cent range for a very long time. And then it suddenly got all excited. The price is still up from where it was, so there's room for it to move, but I don't love it. So I didn't actually like it when it was moving last week, so I'm not going to like it on the way down here today. If you do, then by all means. But I feel like you got to wait for the next bit of news, really. So,
yep. I'm with you, man.
Going on my list.
Yep. One that's on the gap down list this morning is XPEF again. I mean, there's just always on here doing something. I know last week they were on the gap up or down. I can't remember, but I know their pre-market looked better than most days, and it looks like on Friday, right? Was
the beginning of last week, we had all of the production numbers that had come out. Right?
Oh yeah,
so we saw a lot of these guys gap as a result. And generally, production was good. Tesla had great production. Well, not good in China, but good for the rest of the world. And we saw it move quite well. XPEV, on the other hand, didn't end up moving all that well. It did have some movement, but it didn't. Wasn't great. So. There is some news, I guess. The head of their automotive technology center, XPeng's automotive technology center, has left the company. They've had quite a number of personnel losses sort of in the senior ranks over the last little while. I don't know the company structure to know how significant that is to them as a company, or if it signals any problems, but it has not been a good trading stock anyways, whatever's going on over there. So if you're going to trade EVs, I will continually point you back to Tesla. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Tesla's been trading well, and last week we saw a bunch of movement, and we got to say, Andrew having a tough time on it. He posted over the weekend. He bought these naked options, and he was hoping for Tesla to I guess hold a price, and it didn't. Look at how it ran up on him, and I think he posted that cost him a couple $100,000. So 3 of them, 300,000 to be exact.
Wow.
So we told him. I told him to get out. I can say that. I told you so. And
Yeah.
see, Zen Trader remembers. Like I said, just get out now, man. He was like joking. I was down 60 grand, and it came back to almost break even. And I said, just get out. He's like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm gonna hold it. Well, there you go. That's the cost
Yeah.
of that. So,
This thing is too strong, man.
well,
And I mean, there's just a lot of great things that are naked. Naked
yeah,
options are not one of them. You got to be very careful with that. This is not a
yeah,
great thing. So, yeah, it's a shame. But if it would have worked out, you gotta look at it both ways. If it would have worked out, it would have been a very nice.
sure.
So, yeah, he took a hit, but it is what it is. Okay.
Yeah,
All right, friends, that's what we have. I'm going to add Tesla on here. It looks in play today. So we came off with, after going through this entire list, I have Nvidia, Tesla, INTC, TSM as real contenders here, possibly. We do have some other low flow stocks are in play here, but being realistic, this is probably what my list is going to look like, right? So far this morning. Let's go to you guys. Let's see what you guys have on deck. See if there's anything out there. Again, starting off like a slow morning. Looking forward to seeing some of the earnings coming up next week. Hopefully, spark things up. But I hope the entire week is not like this. That would be kind of brutal. All right, let's start here with Brian. Meta. Did anyone trade Meta Friday? Yeah, Meta took off Friday. Meta took off. I mean, it's just insane. But a lot of things did, right? You had Tesla also just kept going. It's very, very trading very well, tons of volume. But here's Meta. Meta, it is up this morning, not much, but it had an incredible Friday. So I think it's worth watching today. But you know what? Meta is one of these tricky stocks where it will do a great day like it did yesterday, tons of volume. And then today, it would just go back to just choppy, low volume trading and not give you anything. Well, like I've seen that happen many times. And I get caught in it because I'm thinking, okay, you know what? This is overreaction. We should be coming down. And I get into a trade and it does nothing like for the entire day. So Meta is very funky like that. I'm not saying that's going to be the case here. I think it's still worth watching, especially given how this watch list looks, right? It's just there's nothing going on here. Yeah, we'll add it to the list and see how we can take advantage of it. All right, so that's Meta heading down. What else you guys have this morning? GLW. What is that? Thoughts on GLW? Uh, what is Corning Incorporate? I don't know. Just looking at
GLW.
look at the data quickly. The data doesn't look great. It looks a little bit choppy as far as the last couple of days, especially when they get really low volume. They don't trade very well. Today they have 500,000, which seems to be starting off on the right foot here, up 6.2. I don't love the pre-market action. Let's take a look at what the intraday looks like on this thing. Because the pre-market, yeah, see the intraday, it's not great, man.
Yeah,
It really is
no,
not. So
no.
at least for the last couple of days, I'm looking at this. This is so low volume. Again, I need volume. This was the half day, so that's not good. Actually, no, that's the first. It's a regular trading day. This is garbage, man. Be careful with this. I don't like it. I don't like it. Peter.
They did issue upgraded guidance this morning. That's why it's moving, because they said that they're going to hit or exceed their numbers in the next quarter. So that's good news.
Mhm.
But like Carlos said, you got to get the volume. It has to be a stock with momentum. Otherwise, it's really not that meaningful if we're trying to trade intraday. If you're swinging this, then that might be great news, and you can trade it on a different basis. But if we're trying to get sort of momentum based, or at least price, you need some continuity of the price action and some consistent order flow. The last thing you want is to get into a trade and, for example, not be able to get out because there's no one at your target price to take the other side of your trade. So that's why we're always looking for stocks that are at least moving with some consistent volume and momentum. So this doesn't really fit the bill.
Yep, agree. All right, I leave it alone. We'll look at Meta. What else on here? Meta, Tesla, and Nvidia so far right now. AMD is being mentioned. Yeah, AMD has not really been my go-to, so I'm gonna add AMD on a secondary. We do have space today, so no worries on watching AMD. We'll look at it there. It does have though 1.2 million shares traded today, so quite some volume. Again, on Friday we did have a nice move. A lot of the semis moved nicely, as you can see that there. Even Meta, which is not a setting, but a lot of the usual suspects did very well on Friday. AMD was one of them. Let's see if that can continue. I do love the volume this morning at AMD because if you remember, Peter, a couple of days ago, AMD has been trading very low volume, like even under
Yeah.
500,000 in the pre-market. So it looked like this. It's exactly what the pre-market looked for a lot of the days, right? So not great.
Yeah.
Today they look very, very active. So I think worth watching here. Um,
The
VOO.
there There's a few that I
Oh, so
think
you're
we
talking
need
about
to.
Andrew's thing. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Peter.
Yeah, there's a few we need to look at just because they were actually moving last week, and if you look at all of them on the daily, they're sort of a very attractive top of range type trades. We'll start with Apple. Apple, which set some new all-time highs last week, and look at it again this morning. So Apple is up there at the top end of its range, and is looking good again this morning. I see you've got VOO on the screen. Yeah, that's something that Andrew is trading, and he's got over $1 million unrealized on that baby. So that'll offset the sting of the Tesla options, but still unnecessary loss in my opinion. But moving on.
Yeah.
So yeah, Apple's at the top end of the range. Volume's okay this morning. We're just under 1 million shares, so it's not bad. It's looking okay. Then we've got the trio of Amazon, Meta, and Google. So Apple, I think, is a watch for today. Amazon, Meta, and Google all sitting sort of towards the top end of their ranges, and I don't know whether any one of these three are actually going to move this morning. So far, their volume doesn't indicate any particular excitement in any of them. But I just like on the daily where they're sitting. I mean, if they could break up, especially Amazon, that $200 is significant. Look at how many times it's hit its head in that $200 area. So if it can get up over that, we could see some good movement to the top side on Amazon. But again, there's no news, no particular reason to think it's going to move like that today. But it's shown that it can do it without any particular news. So all these other days you can see on the daily chart back at the end of June, for example, when it moved that big time, there wasn't really much news, right? It just sort of made the move. So it's I sort of like them, especially in a day we got low volume. We're definitely going to be keeping an eye on them just to see if they do anything fun. So that's rounding out my list for this morning.
Yeah. Man, I have not seen so many people argue about Andrew's position. This is fun. Like on our live,
We
like
created
really, guys.
arguments.
This is a conversation we're having. I love it. But if you do
I guess
love
my
this, man,
fault.
hit the thumbs up. No, it's okay, man. I just humans are amazing creatures. And yeah, this is great. This is great. But yeah, Melanie, I know, but it is fun, guys. Let's do this. Hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We're sitting at 167 likes. What is not an arguable thing is going to be the laptop giveaway we do next week. And if you argue about that, man, I don't know what else to do with you guys. But a laptop giveaway next week. Sorry, on tomorrow, Tuesday. So laptop giveaway, something you cannot argue about there. Hit that thumbs up and make sure you're on tomorrow as Andrew gives away another laptop. Again, laptop every single week for you guys. Does not get better than
Topapalooza.
that. So yeah, exactly. So all right, guys, hit that thumbs up. 185. Would love to be at again 300. We have 558. It's funny when I say 300. If Andrew's watching, he'll text me not 300. I want 600. He always does. He's not on today, so he hasn't texted me yet. But yeah, let's get up there. This is the point that I'm trying to make. Really appreciate you guys. All right, friends. Nvidia, Tesla, Meta, AMD, Intel, and a TSM for us right now. Nvidia is looking promising. I agree. I think that's my list, man. I'm not gonna go crazy. Our moderators, I see a bunch of tickers from the team there, so we'll go to that, and then we'll fine tune some. We'll do some levels first, then we'll go to what our team is watching this morning. So very easy list when it comes to levels. We're looking at Nvidia, and if I look at Nvidia today here, oops, let me get our thing here. There we go, man. My system is all out of whack today after I restarted it here. So let's see, where is our levels. There we go. All right. So looking at some levels, we're stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. So again, just trying to get going here. We do have a level here. My level's not working. Why is this happening? Oh, there it goes. All right. So we do have a level here at 192. Nope, not that one. Right up here, 130.41. So 130.41, good level on the daily there for Nvidia. Above that, we do have a 133.55. So we'll slam one there. And we're going to mark down the highs and lows of the last two of the pre-market, 124.77. And we also have the high of the pre-market, which is being traded right now, 127, right in here, 127.32. So there it is. And then you have the previous day close and all kinds of stuff on there. Nvidia in the red early this morning, great volume, back into the green. I mean, we're at 5.6 million shares traded on this thing, guys. That's looking pretty pretty good. All right, let's look at Tesla now. So Tesla also, I mean, we don't need any levels on Tesla. It's stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. I think you got plenty of really great levels here. You got the previous day close on there as well. Pre-market high this morning is sitting at 250.71. So we'll put that one on there, 250.71. And we're going to slam another one on the low of the pre-market, which is going to be important as well, over at 246.99. So there is your levels for Tesla. So again, on a great run. So many people got caught, not just Andrew, guys. I mean, I even thought about taking, a short on this thing long term because this is a move that eventually is going to come down. It's just a lot of people did not think Tesla was going to be sitting here at 250, from 185 after struggling so much to get going. So this is unexpected move out of Tesla. Especially with their numbers, and they're doing very well with that. So let's see what happens. Meta this morning, a great day on Friday. What's going to give us today? We have no clue. But Meta tends to be a little bit weird when it comes to continuation moves. But I think it's worth watching today after such a big move yesterday. 544 is the high. 544.79 is the high of the pre-market, and the low is going to be sitting. It's slightly below the previous day close over at 539.40. So we'll slam one there as well, right over here. 530, it's just right on the previous day close, 539.40. So that is Meta towards the bottom. You got the highs and lows. You had a big move. If we look to the left, we do have a couple of days on here. We have 530.56, and we also have this one here at 517.48. So if you mark those two, I think you're pretty set when it comes to Tesla. Towards the top, we really, Meta. Excuse me, Meta. I said Tesla, Meta. When we come towards the left here, we're sitting at all-time highs on Meta again. We are. Yeah, so we are all-time highs on Meta. We ran right through that because we were sitting there on April. If you look at April, that was the all-time highs, and Friday we just blew right through that. So really nice breakout on Meta. On Friday. So Nvidia, Tesla, Meta, that is on my watch list for today. Let's take a look at our team and see what they have on deck this morning. Starting with our good buddy, if I scroll down here, it's going to be Eamon. So Eamon is looking at AMD, Amazon, and maybe mRNA for him today. Lenny has a long list. Lenny's got a lot going on this morning. Apple, Intel, POTR, AMD, Tesla, Nvidia, ENVX, and TSM. So a bunch for him there. Susan will be looking at Apple and AMD on her main list. Her secondary list is TNA, Nvidia, Intel, and Tesla for her. And then Pierre is looking at Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, POTR, and Intel. And Megan, Apple, Intel, Mara, Oracle, for her this morning. Just those four. Peter, your watch is AMD, Tesla, and Nvidia. Again, very similar to what I'm looking at as well. Secondary list Apple and Amazon, and trading terminal scanners this morning. No IPOs, no SPACs for today. Phil likes AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, and Meta for him this morning. So yeah, there you go, friends. That is no Mad. Mad is Mad as ticker, or you mean no AMD? No, I have AMD. I have it as a secondary actually, and yeah, I'm gonna move it up because semis are like they're preparing for something here. I don't know what's going on, but if you look at all the semis, even TSM, they're all up this morning. This could be a comeback to semi meeting today. So yeah, semis are they're brewing something here. So I'll add AMD on the list as well, and I have TSM. It's usually my last go to, but even TSM today looks great. Yeah, it's a semi day. It's a semi day this morning.
It's a semi day.
Yeah, no, I like AMD. I don't know how to fail it. I put in a secondary thinking that we're gonna find other stuff, and I'll keep Nvidia as my main one, but there's nothing else out there. There really isn't. All right, friends. That's it. We're gonna be going to live trading this morning, and I know Andrew is out today. Brian is traveling today, so Peter, it might just be me and you. I don't know if anybody else answered
Nope.
the text here.
Pierre and Lenny have said that they're going to do the
Pierre and
live
Lenny
trading.
jumping in. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Those two guys are great. I like both of them because they both trade a 5-minute ORB. So I get to see my strategy in play here. So that's very, very nice. All right. Do they have their links, Lenny and Pierre? Let us know in the chat room here, and we'll switch over to you. We can get you exact links in a second here from our production team. I say team, it's one guy, but team sounds better. All right. Excellent. You have it, okay, Lenny. So log on in, and then we'll slice over to you guys.
Yeah, hand it over to you
over on YouTube. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'll say over on YouTube, guys, if you haven't done so, we're sitting at 236 likes, with 600 people watching. So we'd love to, break that a little bit higher if we can. We're going to go into our live trade, which you're going to see two guys that trade the 5-minute RB very, very well, Lenny and Pierre, and they both have courses in our education center. So, if you're interested in how we trade the 5-minute ORB, how they both trade is slightly different, definitely take a look at those courses over on our channel. And then remember, Peter and I are back tomorrow. Tomorrow is laptop day, so looking forward to that. It's a little crazy in chat, but looking
Good old
forward to
laptop day.
laptop day. Yeah. Lenny, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, good morning. Everything fine here. How are you
Oh,
guys doing?
excellent.
All good?
Good. We're doing good, my friend.
Great.
Yeah, doing awesome.
Let's go.
All right, Lenny, we're gonna leave it off with you. If you want, I'll stick around with you while Pierre comes on, unless you want to do it, Peter. We'll wait for Pierre
No,
to come
I'll
on,
let
and then
you.
we'll.
I'll
Yeah.
leave you to it. I'm going to watch and see. I'm going to be trading very cautious this morning. I don't want to get caught on anything today, so we'll see what's moving. Right now, I got no targets for an open trade, so it may be a slow morning. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think also that I think there's some volatility, but nothing is really looking perfect. But there's definitely some volatility happening. I think AMD looks pretty interesting, right? It broke out of this range in the last 2 months. It just broke out of it like a minute of 10 ago. So yeah, there's definitely something happening. Yeah, I also think Apple looks pretty strong last couple of days. Closed at the high last Friday. Pre-market waving up a little bit. Actually, I'm sharing my screen now, and I hope everybody can see it.
Yeah, if
So
you're in
yeah,
chat, just switch over where it says Lenny, and you'll be able to see Lenny's screen there as well.
so yeah, I think there could be something, some interesting volatility happening today. There's also Intel. Intel broke out of the basically like the island where it was in the last.
Hey, good morning, Lenny.
Hey, Pierre.
How are you doing?
All right,
Good
Pierre's
morning.
on. All right, guys, I'll let you to it. Have a great trading time here. We'll see you.
Thank you, Carlos. How's everyone in the chat? Everybody can hear me good?
You're very loud, which is good. Are you wearing a sheep?
It's a new jacket. So comfortable.
Okay.
My new trading jacket.
Okay. You rock it, baby. Look better in it than I ever would.
Like Genghis Khan.
All right. Have a
All
good
right.
trading at the open, everybody. Trade smart. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. For me, later.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think there's definitely some interesting things happening. Also, PLTR looks quite interesting. Broke out of
Yes,
daily
I
range.
also have PLTR in my watch list today. Pretty good volume, almost 3 million there.
Yes.
So a lot of
Friday
lot of
closing
things are
high.
moving.
Things are moving. Yes.
And NVDA looks pretty strong there. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Getting
Just
close to
still
R4.
yes, definitely. Just still in the middle of the daily range. Still moving in the Friday's range, and the day before, I think it was Thursday, was the market was closed. So yeah, but pre-market looks strong, and of course 6 million shares traded in Nvidia. Also pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, definitely in play for today. I'm gonna share my screen there. 1 second.
Tesla also 3.3 million shares traded by now. It's like from the big tech names, it's the one selling off, even though it's still in Friday's range. So it's trading independent, and yeah, perhaps we could see some volatility in Tesla as well today. And there's some solar stocks, SEDG and ENVX. Especially ENVX might be interesting. See the pre-market being strong, a clear top level. I think it's $16.50 where the price action can't seem to break through, gapping up from
Which
a little
one?
bit of a
Which
low.
one you're saying?
ENVX. There's
NVX.
not ENVX, yeah, NOVX. There's no volume at this point. Only 130k shares traded, but it could break out. You see, like the lows are getting higher. The high of the pre-market is clearly a horizontal level,
Hmm.
but it needs the intraday volume confirmation. So it's not something that is going to be. It's more like a potential.
Yeah, we need to see the volume come in the open. That's for sure.
You need to see the volume. Barrel seems to be in play. Gapped up, selling off clearly off in the pre-market. The only issue is you're running into
Para.
potential support if you take it short.
Yeah, I was looking at Para last Friday. Still looks in play today. Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting. Selling off right now.
yeah. So there's definitely some potential for today. What is your favorite for today?
I really like Nvidia so far. Nvidia, it's right at Air 4. It's really interesting. Also, for sure, Tesla, AMD, PLTR, really interesting too.
Yes.
The less interesting, I will say, is in my watches is INTC. I'll keep an eye on it, but I
Yeah.
don't like the way it's moving right now in the pre-market too much.
I find it hard to get like a directional bias. I see like there's some definitely buying pressure from the bottom, but also selling pressure from the top. Find it a
Hmm.
bit hard. It's also going to be like for quite some time in the pre-market range because the pre-market high is 33.65 and we're now at 33. So it needs to move a lot before it's outside the pre-market high. So yeah, I'm also want to be a little bit more careful with INTC. So we've
Yeah.
got 40 seconds to the open. 40 seconds. Don't think I'll be trading in the first 3 minutes. But I
No,
say that
it's
more.
it's the same for me. I think we both share the same style there. So patience at the open. That's the key for us.
Yeah. So let's see what's going to happen.
Another 10 seconds here.
Yes, all be very careful today and also definitely enjoy because that's very important. We need to enjoy what we're doing.
Right.
So
Market open.
I think it's a very interesting bounce of AMD already. Where it bounced off the previous high of the range, 174.54.
Yeah, yeah, which is right at Air 3 also.
So that's so far it's holding, so that's really strong.
PLTR.
So AMD
PLTR is selling up pretty hard there.
watch
Big
AMD
volume.
today. Watch AMD today. It's holding above that level. It's very strong. Yeah, PLTR.
Yeah, big volume PLTR. Also big volume on INTC.
Yeah,
AMD is really strong. Oh, and Tesla selling off right now.
yeah. 1.3 million shares traded in the first minute. So what else do we got? Apple so far not doing too much. SPY had a strong first minute into all-time high. So what else do
AMD
we got?
still
Where's the
pushing.
so AMD formed a strong 1 minute opening range holding above it. So there's is there any is there anything that catches your attention right now?
Well, for sure, AMD is really interesting, really strong here. But for me, again, it's always waiting that first 5 minute candle to close. So I give it another 3 minutes
So
and see if I have some decent R&B in play.
yeah, that was really strong sign in AMD where it held clearly above the the previous daily range. So you see the
Yeah,
pre-market strong, first holding below it, then holding above it, and then like market open, it's really holding above that level. But yeah, now it's
Tesla is also interesting there. Popped over the VWAP.
yeah.
Nvidia, it's also strong there.
So
INTC also had a nice breakout here. First minute sold off under the VWAP, and we just pushed right through right after that. Would be interesting
yeah,
too for a long.
TSM also opened very strong. TSM third minute holding above the pre-market high, but now it's a little bit too extended to take it. So Intel, yes, still in the pre-market range. It looks strong, but we could see a nice pullback with a lot of strength in the pullback.
Well, here I wouldn't be surprised to see AMD rejecting that airflow level.
AMD or
Getting
Nvidia? AMD.
AMD looks a bit extended here. Yeah, Nvidia looks more bullish than AMD in my opinion.
Yes, Nvidia is just last minute like rockets shooting up, and AMD has some selling pressure wicks on the top side. You see? Only difference is like AMD has some more room on the. There's no resistance ahead, but I think Nvidia is also almost breaking out. Yesterday high is 128.85, so we're almost there.
Right, so 935. I'm starting to look for some potential RNB5. I'm liking NVDA and INTC. If I see a decent pullback towards the VWAP with low volume, that's what I'm looking for a long. So let's see what they have to offer here.
So Nvidia made a pullback. So for the volume is relative low. That's a good sign. And we get bought up in Nvidia.
Pretty strong rejection on AMD for from that Air 4 level.
Yeah.
It's trying to bounce a bit here.
Yes.
See, NVDA is pulling back a bit here.
Yeah, to really take it direct for the continuation setup, I would have preferred to see the pullback holding, but we just made a new low. So therefore now I want to give it more time to potentially catch it for the continuation setup. GLW also looks strong, but it's now a little bit too extended. I think the entries see the volume signal, but now it's too extended. I can't take it anymore. So now Nvidia gets kind of a deeper pullback. The volume is not that high in the pullback, so that's an
Yeah,
okay sign.
I like NVDA here. I'm gonna take a long on NVDA there. 127.87. So that's what I want to see for my open range 5 minutes. So I see a first 5 minute candle closing really strong over the VWAP. Also over Air 4, which is signaling for me a breakout possibility. And then I like to see a low pullback, a low volume pullback towards the VWAP and R4. And there I played a bounce. So I'm long
Very
NVDA
well.
here. Let's see if we can first break high of the day.
So do you have a specific target in mind?
Well, my first target will be that level there at 128.84, which is Friday high.
Okay, yes. Apple is selling up, by the way. Apple broke below the previous day close. Firm volume, now selling off. Now, of course, we cannot enter in the fourth red candle, but it was like a sell-off in Apple. So Nvidia making a new 1 minute high. You see like higher volume in his green candle, in his last green candle, which is a good sign.
Yep, that's what you want to see. See if Nvidia have enough momentum to first break high of the day. And AMD is pushing here. It's interesting with
Yes,
higher volume also.
it held pretty nice around that area of the previous high of the daily range. Right, see like a triple
Mhm.
bottom here above
Yeah,
this late market range, increasing volume.
so NVDA is selling off a bit here.
Unfortunately, it was like a little bit low volume in this last green candle in the move up and the way up.
Yeah, yeah. Bit of a lack of momentum here. I'm still holding my stop loss just below the VWAP. Be patient. Let's see what's going to happen here.
Yes. Apple could also potentially be interesting for another move down, but we want to see some clear signals in this pullback. So we see like a big sell-off, firm volume. Perhaps you could read something in the pullback for another setup, for another move down, which is not the most cleanest because you're always running into potential support. And so for the pullback also
Oh yeah,
doesn't
Apple
look
really
ideal.
sold off here.
Yeah. AMD now also making a new high on the 1 minute chart.
Yeah, AMD
I think
is
the
testing
overall,
again R4.
yeah, I think the overall bias for AMD today is still long. I don't really like the entry now because the risk to reward is not the best. But like if you see how it held like the previous range and the pre-market, I think the bias is slightly more to the long side.
When NVIDIA have a big seller at 129 and another big one at 130. Will be interesting to see those levels. The order book still looks a bit more bullish than bearish.
Yeah, it's a big ask, right? Holy smokes.
Yeah,
128, I think so, yeah. Big 128.50.
yeah, big one at 128.50 also.
What I don't like so much in Nvidia, you see like in the pullback, you see like a lot of overlap. It's really like choppy, but see like all these candles that trading within the previous candle.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, a bit choppy here.
broke above it. Broke
It's
above it.
trying
That's a
high of
good
the day
sign.
here.
Yes, yes. Opa. Let's smash through it. 128.85. It's like yes, previous day high.
So I'm taking a first 25% partial here.
Very nice. Congratulations. Question is Apple, is it gonna make like another move down? See like this over. Somehow I don't really trust it. No, I don't. I'm not gonna take Apple for a short. So Nvidia closing above that 5-minute opening range, increasing volume. It's a good sign.
Yep, good increase in volume on that push. It's stalling a bit here at Friday's high. Next level to break will be 129. Sorry, there's a big seller there. It's getting filled here.
Looking also at Apple, I won't take it, but it looks there's some weakness. Somehow I don't really trust Apple, but it definitely has some signs of selling pressure.
Right, I'm partialing some more on the push here.
Very, very nice. Even more volume in the previous green candle.
Yep, that was a nice breakout on Nvidia.
Yeah.
So
Apple,
for
by
me,
the
that
way, made the
was
continuation setup. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say for me that's a trade book setup. That's exactly what I want to see. So a confirmation of a breakout over R4 with the camera pivot points. Then I like to see clear direction on that first 5 minute retracement,
Hmm.
low volume, and I will always enter on the bounce here. So great
Very
setup
nice.
there on NVDA.
Yes.
Anybody in the chat room catch NVIDIA with me here? Will, Matthew, nice. Nice. A lot of people catch NVIDIA. That's great.
Nice.
It's still pushing
Nvidia
here. It's
almost never,
beautiful.
yeah. Nvidia almost never disappointing this year. Stock of the year, right?
Yeah. And it's been crazy. Yeah.
Now also Para making a new low of the day. Yeah.
PLTR sold off pretty heavily.
Apple continue its sell-off.
Yeah, Apple is really weak. You took that one short. That's your kind of continuation setup, right?
Yeah, but I was doubting a little bit. See, like the
That
green,
was
the pullback.
mhm,
Yeah, there was low
pretty
volume in the
clean on the
pullback,
1 minute
and
chart.
yeah, like the 942 candle was also very nice because it was completely overtaking the previous candle and had higher volume compared with the three green candles. But there was something about it that I thought could have been more perfect. Felt like in this pullback, like these two green candles, they closed both at the high. I don't know,
Hmm.
maybe I was doubting a little bit too long. But yeah, it was very nice. Like the first move down was significant volume, pullback, low volume. Candle completely
Yeah.
overtaking the previous candle could be good for a continuation setup. So
Aaron, no, I don't need to see the price pulling back all the way to the VWAP. If I see that the 20 moving average or the 9 moving average is really close to the VWAP, I will play it because a lot of time it will bounce, not on the VWAP, but on those moving averages. So as long as they're close and still giving me a good risk to reward when I enter the trade, I will take it there. Especially for that one on Nvidia, that the R4 level was a bit over the VWAP. So I know that there was some pretty good support there. So the next level I'm looking for NVDA will be 130. I see on Bookmap there's a big seller at 130, so let's see if we can get there and hopefully break that level.
Nice. Perhaps we could see find later a short in Tesla as well. So it formed like the opening range breaking down.
Yep, Tesla
So
is
far,
weak.
I don't see an entry, but it looks more weak than strong.
Yeah, Tesla was due for a pullback. Went
Yeah.
up like crazy last week.
So Nvidia going further, moving up.
Yep, NVDA is still pushing here.
Buyers in control.
Yeah, it's going to 130.
Bear also might want to make another move down, but
So I'm taking another partial here, 130. Still have a lot of orders stacked on the upside. That's a good sign. So Mel, my entry was at a bit under 128.
yeah. I like this volume signal in para. You see like 947. See like very low volume in the move up. There we see the clear rejections, increasing volume in the sell-off.
Yeah, yeah, definitely bearish, and we just close a candle under S4 here.
Yeah, all these can. Yeah, but now it's a little bit too late. Should have been entry. Should have been here.
Yeah, the entry would have been good on the 9 moving average for a continuation. Now he's a bit chasing. Tesla is bouncing pretty nicely on S4 here. Brendan catch a nice short on Tesla. Nice. For a break of low of the day.
Nvidia still buyers in control. Nice increasing volume on the way up. Oop.
Yeah, still pushing here. No, Aaron, for me, Air 4 is at 127.63. So that's the level we broke on the 5 minute chart. AMD turned out to be pretty choppy today. Had a
Yeah.
nice push at the open, rejection, and since then is just chopping here.
Yes.
In the meantime,
Moving
I'm
sideways.
partialing some more NVDA here, 130.62.
Nvidia never disappoints.
No,
So where do we see the R roll today?
oh, INTC would have been really interesting for a 5 minute R&D as well. I missed it because I was
Yes.
looking at NVDA, but that's my trade book setup too. So first five
We have a
minute
very
candle
nice
showing me
pullback.
that clear direction, nice low volume pullback towards the 90 MA that was stacked with the VWAP and right away just bounce.
Very nice. And it like also higher lows, clear hammers in the pullback.
Yeah.
It's kind of strong.
Anybody traded INTC this morning? That was a pretty nice move. Ellie, Sam, Anna, nice.
Beautiful full volume signals.
Yeah, yeah, really clean there.
Which is, always going to be nice opportunities, but you got to be there looking at it at that moment. We only have
Yeah,
one pair
exactly.
of
It's
eyes.
easy. It's easy to miss those opportunities. Aaron, my cams are configured to 1 day. 1 day, including the pre-market. Tesla is trying the VWAP again here. Good increase in volume on that candle.
Yeah.
Looks like Para is trying to bounce here. On that level, have a level here at 11:35, which is I guess Friday is low.
Let's try this low. Yeah, this isn't the best candle, the last candle. Relative big in size, high volume.
Yeah, yet still rejecting here. It's having trouble to break that 9 exponential moving average here. Oh man, Tesla really bounced here.
Smash through VWAP, right? On the high volume.
Yeah. Bounced exactly on S4. That was beautiful. Right, NVDA is trying high of the day again.
Perhaps GLW could be another move up later, but now for now it's not looking clean enough.
Let's see. GLW, you said, right?
Yeah. But for now, it's not interesting yet.
Gapping up 8%.
Nvidia again reaching all-time high. Oh, sorry, all-time high of the day, of course.
Every day, yeah.
Nvidia the high of the day.
Mel asking how we would have traded INTC. Well, INTC, I would have waited for that retracement towards the 90 MA. So I would have bought for the bounce on the 90 MA. So really close to the VWAP, I would have bought around let's say 33.20. My stop loss would have been under the VWAP, and my first profit target would have been probably around 33.64, which it's a level I have here. I think it's pre-market high. So I will take my first partial there and let it run.
Yeah, yeah. I think there are multiple entries. You see, like if you take the high and the low of the first 5 minutes, you get the 5 minute opening range. So you could take it
Yeah,
at the break of the opening range, or you could take it if a candle closes above it, or when the candle makes a new high after the candle closes above it. So that and there's like a potential entry, and of course, like there's the 1 minute chart within the 5 minute ORB, it's giving like the continuation setup. It's moving up, pullback, low volume, so you could take it like at a new high one after this double bottom. So I think there are like yeah, multiple entries possible, or for the continuation setup, or at the 5 minute opening range break, or at the close
yeah,
above the
exactly.
5 minute opening, or the new high afterwards. Or you could take all of them if you're really aggressive.
It really depends which strategy you're playing. 'Cause even if you're playing the 1 minute R&B, you could have taken it after that second minute candle close, so closing as an engulfing over the VWAP. So you could have taken the break of the range around 33.12. So like Lenny said, really depends your strategy.
So,
Tesla high of the day. It's going to 250 here. What a
oof.
bounce.
There was a nice volume signal at 9:57, like a red candle, 3 bar play, red candle, very low volume.
Yeah.
And previous three green candles, increasing volume. So increasing volume, low volume, new high.
Yeah, really clean. When
GLW
NVDA,
just made a, yeah, continue.
looks like NVDA couldn't make high of the day here, so made a double top. Now it's rejecting with higher volume candle, so not the best sign you want to see if you're long. Anyway, my stop loss is at break even, and I'm letting the trade run to see if there's further upside there.
Yeah.
But definitely not a good place to chase here. That's for sure.
GLW just made a high of the day, but there was just no entry. It's like a lot of wicks from the top side. And if you enter later, the risk to reward's not that great.
Yeah, high of the day with increase in volume. Where would you have enter on GLW?
Yeah, I don't think I would have entered because it's not. Of course, like in hindsight, you can always say like, yeah, I
Mhm.
should have entered here, there, but I think
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
really clean enough for me.
yeah.
Would have been nice, like if you would after this pullback between 950 and 955, if you would see like clean candles without wicks, if it would have been really small, grinding up, giving a nice volume signal, getting bought up
Mhm.
straight away, making a new high, then there could have been something. You could have like put your stop loss a little bit below where it just bounced from. but there was nothing really like that in this price action.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a big position left on Nvidia. I just have about 15-20% left, I will say. I already took one, two, three, four partials. Wow, Tesla still going. Jeez.
Tesla still going. And now it also looks still strong on the daily chart, right? It's in the daily chart, you see the move up, we see the pullback, two times getting bought up, a little
Yeah.
bit decreasing volume in the pullback, while on the in
Yeah,
the
the
move
daily
up,
chart is insane. Since we broke out of that range, it's it's just going up. It's crazy.
but it still looks strong on the daily chart. Of
Yeah.
course, we know it's extended, but like if you look at the candles, like all the candles closing at the high, pullback, getting bought up, also all closing at the high, both candles.
Yeah.
So
Man, I wish I haven't sold my swing trade on Tesla.
yeah, very nice. That your swing trade was really nice. The patience got rewarded.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a shame I got out way too early. I got out at 220. Wasn't expecting a move like that, but hey, I stick to my rules and I'm still happy with it.
Yeah. Now actually we're breaking also above yesterday high, and now it really looks strong on the daily chart as well. Holy shit, Tesla, where will it go?
Yeah, really strong Tesla. Around my stop on NVDA was a bit under R4 in the VWAP, so it was at 127.55. 127.50 was around that level. Apple is bouncing a bit here on that S4 level. Pretty interesting.
I think SEDG could also be for another move potentially, but what I don't like about it is too little volume in the 1 minute candles. There's 25k shares traded, 30k shares traded. But so far it
Which
looks
one
really
you said?
strong.
SE?
SEDG. SEDG.
BG.
But we see like now the inside candle, lower volume. Yeah, it looks really strong. And I think, yeah, it should be an entry actually. But there's like this too little volume per minute, so that's not what makes it really trustworthy. But this is, looks like a strong price action. I won't take it because there's too little volume per minute.
Yeah, and it's pushing too high of the day with a decreasing volume.
Yeah. Para making a new low of the day as well. And it also broke down this range of the last 2 days.
Yeah, on Para you can see since the open, never was able to go over that 9 exponential moving average, just rejecting every time.
Yeah. SCDG made a decent move up, right? It could have like quick scalped it.
Yeah.
SETG. Oh well. GLW as well might make another move up, but it's not. This is not so clean. This is not so clean.
Nvidia is making another move up here. On the 5-minute chart, it rejected to close to the 9 EMA. So far, bouncing a bit here. In the meantime, Tesla, it's right at Air 3.
Yeah, Tesla also continuing its march of victory.
AMD is disappointing. It was looking so interesting at the open, but since then, just a whole lot of nothing.
Look at the nice candles in SCDG closing at the high, increasing volume. But now it's of course too extended for an entry.
Yeah, it's getting extended. The 5-minute chart with nice increase in volume on the push there.
Yeah. So Nvidia. So at this time of the day, sometimes you get also more clean to look at other time frames, like at the 2 minute, at the 5 minute.
Yeah, I like the 5-minute. I never looked at the 2-minute chart, but I know it's something a lot of traders like to keep an eye on.
Yeah. I always think like the more information, the better. But the only limitation is like our capability of processing all the information.
Yeah,
If it would be for me, I would love to digest all the information, with 30, even like on the 30-second time frame. Not that there's a 30-second time frame, but
yeah.
if there would have been, and 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, everything.
That's the thing with trading. The more information you have, the better it is. But at the same time, you don't want to have too much because you don't want to miss details. That's the tricky
Yeah.
part with trading.
Yes.
I believe that if you're a trader that's just starting trading, the best advice is start with less information in front of you and let give yourself time to digest everything and slowly add more indicators and go from there. Is really
Yeah.
important in the
Really.
beginning to don't start with too much.
Yes. By the way, also looks weak for another move down, but like you should never trade this because it's like so little shares traded per minute. But like this candle, it closes at below the low of the day. Last 3 minutes, lower volume. And now it's breaking down, but there's just too little volume. It's not trustworthy enough. So
Hmm.
like a lot of overlap on the 1 minute chart. But you're right. It's like we should step by step, right? If
Yeah.
step for step, more information processing.
So Nvidia looks a bit toppy here. It's making lower highs, lower
Yeah.
lows.
Nvidia seems to be like in a range since 950, moving more or less sideways. But also within the range, we can find a lot of information, I think.
My stop loss on Nvidia it's still at break even, so at 127.95. But if I see the price close some candles under the VWAP, I will get out more early.
Chill.
But for now, as long as on the 5-minute chart it's holding the 9 moving average, I'm staying in the trade no matter what. Janet asking me if I ever move my stop loss. Well, if I haven't took a partial yet, I will never touch my stop loss. That's a super important rule I have. But the moment I already start partialing of the trade, I'm almost 100% out of my position and just remaining the left, like on the Nvidia right now. See, I will move my stop loss up to get out of the trade a little bit sooner because my stop loss, original stop loss at break even, is really low. Like it's almost at low today. So just in that kind of scenario, I will move it, but never to the downside. Just always closer to the price.
So let's take a look what the other big tech names did. So Microsoft, just very choppy, moving sideways. Amazon, also the same.
Let's see Amazon.
For a moment, it broke out to all-time high, but then it fell back again. It's not really interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Amazon actually would have been interesting for the break of that 200 level. So you can see in the open, it formed a range and eventually broke out of the range with really, really high volume with that big candle.
Yeah.
Could have been interesting. It's not one of my setups. I don't have a trade book for that, but I know a lot of people do. That will be interesting there.
AMD just moving sideways, nothing really happening.
Yeah, AMD really choppy. Nvidia
Nvidia
is
made it
back
nice
at
to
the
boost.
VWAP.
I like about your style of trading that it's a pretty aggressive, right? Because you take it before actually confirmation. You get this push up in the Nvidia, for example, like the third, fourth, fifth minute on high volume, pull back lower volume, and then you already take it, right? In
Yeah,
anticipation
yeah.
for the
Because I used to play
yeah.
the R&B of at the breakout, so I was always waiting for more confirmation. But the reason why I changed and now I enter more aggressively at not waiting a 1 minute high or as close as possible to the VWAP. I like it because I have
Mhm.
better risk to reward that way. So
Yeah,
it's something I changed in my trade book about 3 years ago and made a big difference.
yeah, it's very nice. But you need to have like very good experience with it in
Yeah,
order to like to
my win rate
anticipate.
my
Hmm.
win rate dropped a bit by doing that change, but the reward I
Hmm.
get is worth it. I end
Yeah.
up more profitable that way.
So you also need
In
to
the
have the
meantime, I'm
confidence because
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Was just saying I'm getting out of Nvidia there. I don't like the way it's dropping below the VWAP with the increase in volume.
yeah, yeah, indeed.
So I'll,
I
all
think
out
they have.
Nvidia there.
All right. So yeah, that it closed on the high volume below the VWAP. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. That's your style of trading, your how you evolved. And I think it also you need to have some confidence in it because your win rate drops a little bit and you work with a little bit more in anticipation of the confirmation. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
need to be comfortable with that. That's for sure. And the hardest thing I will say about doing that change is that because of the reason I wait for that low volume pullback towards the VWAP, it remove a lot of trades. So it happens often that I have some days with no setups. So that's a thing that is
yes,
hard to be comfortable with to just stay on the sidelines when you don't see any setups.
yeah,
So I will say with that RNB5 strategy, I maybe have 3 to 4 good setups per week. So it's not a lot. But when they happen, it's high quality trades.
yeah. And that's the key quality of a trader to not take trades when there are no setups. Simply do not trade when there's no when there's no good
Mhm.
setup. First of all, you need to recognize what are like the good setups. Then you need to be psychological able to not
Yeah,
trigger.
that's a hard thing to do, right? It's not easy.
Yeah,
Stay on the sidelines.
yeah. To not click the button if there's no good setup, and to be able, you need to be able to accept losses without losing your mind.
Evo, no, I don't. I wouldn't say I go more heavy. I always have the same risk every trade I'm taking. So in terms of percentage, I'm not sure exactly, but it's never more than 2% of my portfolio. That's a rule I have. But like I say, it's a fixed risk for me. So Cal, I enter at 9:37. So first thing I saw, it's the direction of that first 5 minute candle, showing me a clear direction that was looking bullish. Second thing I saw is that that candle was closing over R4. When you see a candle closing over R4, it's telling you that it's a breakout. So there's a good chance there that the price will just continue up. Then the other thing I was waiting for, it's a pullback with low volume towards that R4 level and the VWAP, and also the 20 moving average that was stacked with the VWAP and R4 there. So when I saw that two red candles going down with low volume, I entered there for a bounce, and eventually I partial on the way up. So that was my thought process here. Yeah, Nvidia is selling off here.
Yeah, also the rest of the market SPY also dropped in the last 2 minutes, increasing
Yeah,
volume, increasing size of the candles.
yeah.
Perhaps
Also
something
AMD of the
happens.
day. Give me 2 minutes there. I'll be back in a second.
Yes. So let's take a look at. I like to scroll through my list of stocks with where there was the RVOL to see where was the volume, and perhaps there have been taking place some interesting moves. So we had BLTR on the watch list. Not really sure if it may gave an entry. Because if you take it short, you're still running into potential support, which is not ideal. If you take it above here, you were running into previous day close. If you take it below it, might be a little bit extended already, even though the candles were increasing here, increasing volume. So we had PLTR on the list, but I think it wasn't clean enough for an entry. So we had INTC. INT gave the 5 minute opening range breakout probably. See, right? The significant daily range gap up from this island where it was the last 2 months in. Pre-market looked relative strong, forming a range. Not that clean, but it formed a range. And then on the 1 minute chart, we see the beautiful continuation setup that is coinciding also with the 5 minute opening range breakout. It's a beautiful move up, firm volume, pullback, low volume, closing above it in a candle with high volume. This should have been an entry, even though you're still in the pre-market range. But if you're looking at just the intraday price action, it looks pretty clean. Should have been an entry. So what else? Yeah, we also had TSM on our watch list. Also a gap up. Pre-market looked a little bit move
All
up,
right.
forming a range, but never really confirmed for an entry, I think. TSM showed first 4 strong candles up, and then we just turned out to be a dot, not doing anything.
On
I
TSM.
think also, yeah, I also don't think it gave any entry. It was just strong, 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 and then it was weak. But it never gave like a strong move up and a very beautiful pullback and a beautiful confirmation from the bottom or a new high. It was just strong and then nothing. So TSM not really interesting. I'm just running through my list where there's RVOL, where there was significant RVOL today. But yeah,
Mm.
the best, most beautiful was INTC, and I think Para also gave an entry. I think the entry was that Para gave. Yeah, was at 9:49 because you got the 5 minute opening range. So first of all, we had it already in play. We had it on a watch list. Also 340% RVOL. We see like the 5 minute opening range. The candles becoming smaller, breaking below it, making a pullback, retesting the low of the opening range, low volume signal, making a, where was it again? Here, yeah, around 9:49, and then you would even take it like at the low of the day at 9:50. I was doubting it a little bit too long. I think volume per candle was okay, like 200k shares traded per minute. Only less than optimal was that we're still trading in the yesterday range, but the weakness was there. So you took one trade, right? Nvidia today.
Yeah, just Nvidia, and I'm not looking for any more trades. I'm happy with that one.
It's nice.
Can send a screenshot of my trade in the chat room here. That was the setup. Hey, Afarin, how are you doing? No, not any reversal today. I will maybe keep an eye on if I see any, but I'm happy with my gain on NVDA. I'm already over goal, so usually when I have one good trade like that, I'm not chasing to take any more trades.
I think it was a pretty calm day. Not so much happening today. No really
Yeah.
big trends happening. No really big continuation happening.
Yeah, well, if we look at the Qs and the SPY, it's pretty choppy, not showing any clear direction. So
Which is also not crazy after 3 strong days, of course, in the markup.
Mhm.
Earning season about to start this week, so that's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of volatility
Yeah,
again.
Apple catch a nice bounce at S4. Now it's over the VWAP. Oh, we had some nice pivot points bounce today. Beautiful one on Apple, Tesla for sure. Also PLTR bounce exactly on S3.
Well, Gonzalo, I see your question. Well, I'm still recovering, still a little bit tired. Yeah, I got some dengue illness last week. I'm still a
Mm.
little bit tired from it.
So when you came back from the hospital,
Yeah, I came last week Tuesday, so now 6 days ago. But I stayed five
mm,
nights in the hospital. It was not recommended. But I traded from the hospital actually, and I made money in the hospital. That was funny. I just had my laptop on my lap in the bed. Wi-Fi was okay, so it was a very very good setup in Tesla. Tesla was on fire last week.
Nick, you took the bounce on Apple on S4. Beautiful. Nice trade there.
Yeah, so now it's a little bit calm everything.
Yeah, things are not moving too much anymore. Just normal at this hour. Usually that happens.
Yeah.
Amazon is choppy. For AMD,
Now you got to be
Nvidia
careful that you
also.
don't. Yeah, you got to be careful that you not start to see any patterns right now. It's a little bit later on the day.
Yeah,
The dynamic is just different.
SEDG rejected pretty heavily the high of the day. I was back at the VWAP.
Yeah.
The other one you were looking, GLW, not doing too much either right now.
Nope.
Not the most convincing volume.
No. I think the end is coming. 9.
Yes, 10:30. Hear the music coming up. So, Lenny, always a pleasure trading with you. I hope
Yes.
people on YouTube enjoy the live trading. Drop us a like if you can. We really appreciate it. And have a
Yes.
great day, everyone on YouTube.
It was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you, Pierre. It was awesome. It was a pleasure. And all have a great day.
Yes,
Bye.
ciao.
Bye all.